So the Nintendo Direct aired actually quite a few hours ago now, and while I did record my reaction, I only just thought of the I should use my phone flashlight as a lighting source trick, so I'm probably not going to include any clips from that. Mostly it was just me laughing at a particular part. And in this video, I'm just going to talk about the stuff that particularly interested me. If you want me to talk about pretty much everything that was in the Direct, I did just record a podcast episode, so I will link that in the community tab when it goes up. Although now I am seeing spots, so maybe I shouldn't have my flashlight right in my face, but we'll see. So, first thing they showed off was Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, which is the Three Houses version of Fire Emblem Warriors. All I can say is I hope it's better than Fire Emblem Warriors because I got rid of that game because all the clone characters, like Horror Warriors, both, I guess, have unique characters with unique movesets, whereas Fire Emblem Warriors, if you had the same weapon, you had the same moveset. So, like even, I got my Baby Niles DLC, plays the same as any other archer, it's just not that fun. I even sold the limited edition. This limited edition they announced it's going to come with acrylic figures, 5 of them. So I'm thinking, the 3 house leaders, Byleth, and maybe the antagonist. Just a quick spoilers for Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Given that their appearances aren't quite like the 3 main guys, their appearance isn't quite like what they are in the time skip. I'm thinking this game, sort of like how Age of Calamity is like an alternate sort of time, alternate story. I reckon this one must take place in a what if Byleth didn't fall down the hole for 5 years type one, like playing during that time skip, and it changes it to make it one story. I'm also not sure, because I didn't really play the DLC, but I'm not sure if any of the DLC characters might be in this, or maybe there'll be DLC again for this game. They just didn't want to put them in the story. But I will be getting it, and hopefully I like it, and keep it this time. Then they did the release date for Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp, which I already knew because it was sitting with that exact date or maybe the day before, on the Australian eShop for quite a while. I'm interested in it. It looks cool. I like tactics games, like I said, I'm just not very smart. Kaiju Wars will be coming out in February on PC, so instead I'm going to be playing a game somewhat based on that instead of knowing the original print, so I'll see if I like it as much in comparison. I think they did say it's more online stuff, so it looks like they might have a bit more, and there is 2 campaigns in one bundle, so they showed off Mario Strikers, which I actually thought in the podcast I actually don't really play the Mario sports games, but I've always been interested in trying out a Strikers game, so again I might get it, and if I don't like it, just shoo it off. Because, last year was Mario, same time of year it seems to be, so I wonder what sports game we're getting next year. Last year was Mario Golf, I didn't even get that. Mario Tennis, I got rid of it because I wanted it for the motion mode, and that didn't run very well, so I got rid of that. So this is more on a maybe I'll get it, maybe after release sometime. But it's good. It's got 8 players, which I really like when they do the whole 8-player, 8-player Smash, anything that can do the max amount of people. Generally I'm not going to be playing with that many people, but having the option to include everybody is really good. Then they showed Salmon Run in Splatoon 3, which at first it looked really much the same, and then they showed some different new enemy types, some which looked really cool, and teased a big boss at the end, which I said hopefully you only fight them on their own. And this, or just the little guys, because I can't deal with all the other stuff and the giant guy. Oh, and you can throw eggs. Yeah, that was the thing that had me yes, that's it. So fingers crossed that we can play Salmon Run more often and with better weapon loadouts, please. And they gave that a summer, which for me is winter, release date window. So hopefully July, because they've already announced their June games, maybe August. So, soon. The one thing I'm waiting for my husband to wake up so I can tell him is the Front Mission 1 remake, and then they will do 2 later on the line. I'm not super familiar with it. I didn't realize it was tactics games. I guess there's just so many mech series he talks about. It's hard to keep up. And then it was actually originally a Super Famicom, so Super Nintendo in Japan only, game, and I saw the cover art was actually, I don't know if it was done by the guy that does a lot of the Final Fantasy cover art, but it looked quite like that. So it was really funny because you didn't see the the funds, I'm gonna say these are like funses or something at all in the cover art, so it's interesting. But I'll definitely play that. It just sort of, a lot of these have sort of close release dates or not really like set. I don't know if this one had one. And then it just sort of depends on the price point, because for me in Australia, a lot of games will come at like $37.50 or $45, and they can kind of go like, would it be better off just saving that extra little bit to get, because I can get some of the full price games, if they get a physical release, I can get them a bit cheaper. So I was like, oh, is it better just putting it towards the mainline releases and having this to wait? So like a lot of this list was just like, oh, I'm very interested, it'll just have to get in line with everything else. And then they did Star Wars Force Unleashed, so Asper's been doing like a lot of Star Wars ports, so I'm going to hold out on that one because they did Jedi Knight 1 and 2 as a retail bundle, and Pod Racer and Republic Commando as a bundle, so I'm just going to wait for them to port this and 2, or they might do KOTOR and Force as a bundle. I did digitally pick up KOTOR, but that was like a pretty cheap price, so it's not what I've played, but I've heard good things about like people I know personally, so I'm interested in it. I just know that they're probably going to do a retail release, so I'll hold on. SD Gundam Battle Alliance, they didn't really show any gameplay off in the English direct. The Japanese direct showed a bit more, so it looks like a bit of a, possibly like a, not one-on-one because it was co-op they said, but like, it's like an action fighting type game. So it's just cool to have more Gundam games available in English without having, because there is like obviously Asian English releases, but without having to go through the effort of importing things, especially with the ever-increasing cost of that nowadays. And another one I've never played, obviously, didn't really have a PS1, definitely, some of these things didn't even get PAL, like a lot of PS1 RPGs did not get, but this one might have, but like a lot of them did not get PAL releases anyway. So Chrono Cross, which is one I think people knew was happening, which I heard maybe people don't like it quite as much just because it follows, it's connected to Chrono Trigger, and that's the best game of all time, apparently. Haven't played either of them, so I don't know. But I am interested in it because I haven't played it. It's also got some... now this is where I got super confused because I think it's a PS1 game, but they've got a Satellaview exclusive thing, which was a Super Famicom internet-like service. So they're bundling that with it, which is like a text adventure. I'm assuming it's obviously got to have something to do with it, but it's just really funny that there was this game, the PS1 game, that something to do with it was on an internet-only Super Famicom thing. But they're putting it together now on the Switch. So, again, that might be at a price I'm kind of like, but I have picked up a couple of those Square Enix ports where they give it like a light touch-up, and that it'll just depend on the release date. And, in terms of me actually playing it, who knows. Then we had a new Kirby trailer where Kirby tried to swallow a car. And I was very happy when it started driving. The mouthful mode actually looks pretty painful, but his brows aren't furrowed, so I think he's okay. And I'm pretty excited about Kirby. I don't know, Rune Factory 5 comes out the same day. It's I'm honestly starting to think I might play Kirby first, because I would beat it sooner. So you might as well just get that, because it's looking really good, and I'm very excited for it. And so there's a ton of ports in this direct, so Klonoa 1 and 2, never played them, but it was one a lot of people were clamoring for it to get a new game or just a port, so it's, people can play the series. So it fits in that category of interested, but we'll see how I go with it. It does look nice, and I'm happy for the fans. They're also porting Portal 1 and 2, I've already got those on PC. Hopefully they have gyro aiming though. And then we got another HD 2D game, which has never, the original version never released outside of Japan, so again, it's always good to just get stuff like that. It was Love Alive is how the announcer said it. At first it was Live Live, this doesn't look like it at all, but it's a turn-based RPG where you've got different protagonists in time, and then someone said they all come together at the final chapter, so I've already said, well, I guess it's better than Octopath Traveler. So that one, I think, I'll be pretty interested in it. So hopefully it comes out at a good time for me. They showed off Nintendo Switch Sports. I think it was just Switch Sports. and I looked at these ghastly creatures that were in fact not Mii's, and almost thought there wasn't going to be any until they showed some off in the gameplay. So thankfully, Mii's are still alive. I'm glad I can play as them. Actually not really sure if I'm going to pick this up though, because like I have Wii Sports. I can play Wii Tennis. Wii Tennis is great. They don't have they're doing that thing where they're not releasing the full experience and then adding them as free updates to get that social media traction, and I really don't like that. But there is going to be a like online demo from the 18th to the 20th, so I'm going to try that out because that'll let me know whether I actually really want this or not. This tiny package of a few games, especially I've got Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort now. I haven't played a lot of those, but it's still good to have those titles on the Switch. Triangle Strategy, the demo, I already knew that was going to happen because it sort of got leaked by a Dutch trailer. Might even be out now because it's been quite a few hours. I haven't watched too many of all the story trailers because I played the first demo. Like I did a whole video on it. I redid the fights several times to try out all the different things. I know I'm going to like this game, and I'm glad that this demo is a transfer save over to like starting from the start of the game instead of partway through. And I will definitely be going through that. Today I'm quite busy, but I might potentially stream it sometime on the weekend and just be redoing stuff over and over again and having like 5 different saves, because I know I'm really going to like this game. And then we had the funniest thing in the Direct, which is that the Nintendo Switch Online subscription has gotten its first addition to the SNES and NES library in like 6 months. Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings, and that's it. I thought, man, it's so funny. They're not going to do Mother 3R, they're not going to, and they didn't. And I like, that's why I kind of wish I'd figured out this lighting, because I laughed. And that was the bit where I was like, ha. And I did check the Japanese Direct just in case, maybe they didn't. So if it doesn't happen this year, I don't know if it's gonna happen. I think the last most exciting thing for me was Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC, because I really love Mario Kart and I'm just sick of doing the same tracks over and over. Actually, I had a look at it. So eventually, till the end of 2023, they're going to add 48 tracks through these waves, like total. And there's already 48 tracks in the game, so they're going to double the amount of tracks, which is really great. The one they picked from the N64 game, probably one of my least favorite. Like, I wouldn't have picked that one, but there will be more. And they're doing some tour tracks, which is really nice because, why is Mario Kart Tour get all this nice stuff? I'm hoping that some of my favorite tracks from Double Dash and N64 make it though, especially because I don't actually own Double Dash anymore at the moment. But yeah, I'm very happy about that because Mario Kart 8 is a good game. So just let's at least give us more if you're not going to make a new one, which they're clearly not going to do for a really long time. And then the last thing they showed off was Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I have not really played 1 or 2. And it's clearly got stuff from both. Hopefully, maybe it's even a finale to the whole thing. So I'm not sure if I should play it until I play the other 2. So that could be me in 10 years. Just don't spoil me, okay? Okay. I wrote my own list, but instead of looking at that, I looked at someone else's list, which did not include the new Taiko no Tatsujin, which I've got the current Switch one, but I imported that because for my birthday, I got the one with the actual drum, even though I mostly play handheld because I found that better. So this time I will get the English version because I couldn't, I'd have to get a Japanese, because it was counted as the Asian English version, it was a different software, and then I couldn't get DLC off the Australian eShop and use it on that version. This time, they're going to do, aside from some new modes, some 4-player stuff like that, and that Megalovania, they are doing a subscription model, which is something I'm actually happy about. Hopefully it's priced similar to Just Dance, where it's not actually that bad, because and that they include all the DLC that way, not just some of it you still have to buy separately. But for me, that would be the ideal way to play, because typically I only like a few songs and I stick to them, so having the access to more songs without having to fork out a ton for just to get the song, having that subscription model is actually something I'm happy about. So I'm definitely looking forward to that, and that's definitely a day one. I do like that series now. And another thing I forgot to mention was just, it was very interesting that this was a 40-minute direct, and normally you get like a 10-minute, like, you know, an overview trailer, like a full thing. There was nothing like that really. We got like maybe 5 minutes at the most on a particular game, which I actually really liked, because hopefully Nintendo realizes that they can just do those trailers outside of the directs and just keep, like, you know, even though it's a lot of plot and stuff, they can just keep it with more stuff rather than having to go super in depth on one thing, unless it's, you know, something big in the future. So yeah, I thought this direct was pretty good. There was a ton of ports, like a ton, and they were like all smooshed together for the most part. So yeah, it's more like a fight for us. I've actually got more important things to budget for than every little game now, sadly, happily. So yeah, it'll just, I'll just have to see where they go, what I buy, and what I actually play. Something I didn't really have any hopes for this direct, but the day before people were like, oh, Nintendo, God, Tamagotchi Life, and I'm thinking, Star Boutique, because they're like what they're doing. They've already done Switch Sports now. They're doing all the Mario Sports games. They've done Big Brain. They've done Dr. Kawashima. They're doing all those sorts of things. So give us our other casual properties that you haven't given us. You've imported me to, like, yeah, that's, it's like I can't have it as an expectation, but it's also like, it seems like it's the thing they can do now. I can squish it in between all the big hits. So yeah, let me know what you were super excited about in the direct, anything you're definitely going to pick it up and start playing at day one, or what you were really upset there wasn't in the direct other than Mother 3. But